One Friday evening before spring gobbler season opened, we arrived at the Thistledew Horse Farm in North Florida. The Grand Twins stayed at the center gate and played while I set out decoys for dawn. When I returned, they were playing contentedly, so I continued to the farmhouse, and later I called from the back porch, "Come on home, children, it's supper time." Next morning I had overslept. I skipped coffee and rushed while trying to search for a title for an undependable rooster. I stood at the center gate and glared down at the toms already courting my decoys. "Tomorrow I'll set my alarm clock," I mumbled. As I turned around, I came face to face with a gopher turtle on top of a gate post. "Ah, how did you get here?" I said. He says, "Senor, I cannot climb and I cannot jump, so someone must have lifted me up here." "Well, who are you?" "My name is Biscuits. I did not get here by myself. Carly put me up here. She said I was going to be her gopher on a stick. Kayla painted my toenails orange and said we could be gator fans. Senor, I hate alligators. I hate foxes, coyotes, and Seminoles because they all eat gopher turtles." Ay, ay, ay. I began to enjoy playing with the girls when you called them to supper. They forgot to put me down. I was very afraid. I never knew the world was so big. I never saw beyond the grasses before. When I was young, that giant red horse stepped on my foot. Senor, I hate horses. He could have broken my shell, my only shelter for protection. I have lived in constant fear since then. My life was from gopher hole to gopher hole. I would sneak out to eat the grass, sometimes the palmetto berries and the acorns. My dessert for the day was horse biscuits, just like my papa. One day, the coyotes had kept me from feeding all day long. I was starving. The horses were coming from the barn, and I ran for the horse biscuits. And there were worms in the ground, senor, and I ate one, and I liked it. Now, I, son of biscuit eater, am a wormaholic. I am so ashamed. My father can never find this out. But last night, I saw the sunset for the first time in my life. It was gold and orange. I could not believe it. And then the stars came out and they drove the darkness away. I never even knew the cypress swamp was down there, and the moon reflected like silver in the lake. It was lighting up the Spanish moss. It was awesome. Nothing could compare to the sunrise, though. What an amazing night. I will never be the same again. I will never go back to a life of fear. No more worms for this gopher. Ha! I love my family and friends. I must tell them. But they live hectares away. I could never make it on my own. I know. If you would lift me up on the red horse, I believe I could ride him like the wind. Hee-haw! Andale, andale, arriba! I'm a red horse rider. A caballero. I will tell everyone I see, you don't have to leave this way. From hole to hole, you don't have to fear or eat worms. We can have victory. No more worms for me. I will lift them up. I will encourage them, senor. My life used to be void of purpose and hope, struggling through small businesses, living from one contract to another. The dessert of my day was the bar at day's end, and I admit I liked it. One day a friend told me of God's love, his plan for my life, how his life was changed by simply receiving God's gift. He encouraged me and he lifted me up. What an amazing difference. I'll never be the same again. Soon after, a choir pianist named Susan encouraged me to sing a solo. She helped me. A few years later, we needed a music director. A tenor named Sid invited me to help him teach youth Bible study. And a few years later, we needed a youth director. Did you ever see a gopher turtle on a fence post? If you do, just be certain he did not get there by himself. His life will never be the same again. Take time to encourage someone today. It may change their life forever. And they can't wait to tell others. It's God's plan. There is no plan B.